Autistic people are not dumb. They're just not interested. Back when you were in school, if you looked around, maybe there would be a kid who just didn't seem interested, didn't speak up, maybe shied away from what was being taught. They often got unfairly bullied because of this. This is not because they don't know the answer to the question that's being asked. People are herd-minded. They have these false assumptions that if a lot of people pick up on the fact that that little kid is just not trying in the classroom, then they'll think and they'll talk to their peer and say, "Hey, what's up with that kid? Why is he being quiet?" Something along the lines of that. That's just being nice. Usually it's the neurotypical peers who like to do this. They're more like tribe-minded, herd-minded. The human brain hasn't changed in 200,000 years, I'm telling you. It's just first impressions to them, really. You know, they're in a modern environment, their brains are the same. It can be worse, like you having that stereotypical high school jock bullies, the nerd kind of thing. That's kind of old school, bit of a thing of the past, a bit over-exaggerated, but you get the point. Now the more common form of bullying is microaggressions and cyberbullying. Microaggressive behavior happens when people are just too scared to actually outwardly show that they don't like you. It tends to be because the person is weak, mentally and physically. That's their problem, not yours. If those are the kind of people you're around, you should pity them. Unfortunately, alongside the huge influence the internet has on us, we get attached to what it shows us, like the comments. They feel personal to us. Comments that you read on the internet, they feel like actual insults because our brains haven't changed in all those years. They see it as a real insult. They cannot tell the difference. It's not as simple as that Tyler, the Creator tweet says, just close the laptop screen and you won't get cyberbullying. It's not like that. We have an attachment to these things now in the modern day with these technologies. So the solution a lot of these shy kids turn to is just to create an anonymous profile. Usually they have a Discord name or a Reddit name, you know, Killer, Hunter, XX, something like that. Due to our mutual amazement and comfort zone of the internet, it can be so hard to avoid cyberbullying. And I'm being realistic here. Cyberbullying is not how they show it to you in your school presentations where they show some stranger meets up with a kid online who they met through Movie Star Planet or something. It's not like that. But the number one biggest thing you can help to overcome your attachment to the internet and the cyberbullying is just to go outside, spend more time in nature. Feel the sunshine hitting me, hitting you at the moment. It can just help calm your nerves. It's therapeutic. The next point is that school rarely benefits an autistic person's needs. Let me talk about my own experience. I'm in a classroom, I've got my phone, I'm learning about history maybe. And history's cool, but then I get a notification that says Clash of Clans, canon upgraded to level 7. Wow, blows my mind. It's in the design of the Supercell notifications that they hook you on. Beware, they can really entice you in. The dopamine sparks in your brain because of that. It's powerful. You got to avoid those because they can trap you and lower the quality of your life. There is a video comparison of an ADHD kid watching a maths video versus a Star Wars video. Now this kid loves Star Wars, so I bet you can already predict what his reaction is to the maths video. He can't look at the screens all around. Anything else more exciting than this? With a Star Wars video, he sat right still like this. And he's just looking straight at it like, no movements. Maybe one chair movement a minute. That's it. It depends on what they're learning. If an ADHD kid learns about something they don't know, or they don't have an interest in, they will completely switch off. Now, special schools exist, but for the high functioning autistic people like me and a lot of people with ADHD, we want to fit in, right? We much prefer that validation from other neurotypical peers to feel part of the crowd. Some of the more low functioning, they're just happy as they are, or maybe their social capabilities are limited further. So a lack of concentration does not equal a lack of knowledge. It just means that this maths video isn't what we want to learn about. The video game is more interesting. The upgrade done is more interesting. We get hooked by the notifications straight back into the game. In my case, I love stats and numbers. I'm your kind of numbers memory bank kind of guy. I also have amazing grammar. I'll nitpick you on any grammatical mistakes you make. Like if you told me your birthday right now, I would remember it forever. This is another thing about autistic intelligence. We all have superpowers. Now, if you're closed-minded and follow the stereotype that autistic people are done, then you clearly have some limiting beliefs that you need to shatter. You may cringe or not believe that that statement is real, but it is. My superpower is my memory skills. I have a photographic memory. I used to practice this when I was like 10, 11 years old. I was in the playground remembering, photographically memorizing Guinness World Record facts and telling them to my crush to impress her. Yeah, I really did that. But after that, I started using an iPad and an iPhone, and it fries your dopamine receptors and it kind of affects your long-term memory. So I've kind of lost that skill a bit, but I'm working on it. So that is where my intelligence particularly excels in. I also have good thinking outside the box skills, so I'm a good problem solver. I'm quite good if I'm assigned as the leader of the group project. But overall, of course, I have my interests, and I'd much rather check the clan update than whatever's on the whiteboard. This is why it's so important to pursue a passion outside of education. It's where you can let your autistic intelligence flourish, because this is good for your mental well-being. You do not only want to be doing a job you hate in your spare time, or your mental well-being will deteriorate. The passion can be anything really, as long as it gives you a true meaning of accomplishment. It could be as simple as reading. Anyways, I would really like to hear your stories about what you experienced in school and how they differed from my experience. I had my fair share of school fights as well, you know, but I'll talk about them in a later video. In your experience, maybe in America, the bullies could have been more physical, you know? Every autistic person, hell, every person's journey through school is difficult in their own ways. But when you finally emerge out of those school years, there's something to feel proud of. There's a unique story to be told. And that's what I'm telling you right now. And when you finally go to university or college, everyone is a clean slate and you no longer have to worry about the past. It's a good feeling. It's so refreshing. Well, that's all I have to say. Thank you very much for listening. Share your stories in the comments. I'd love to hear them. Tell me if you relate. Tell me if you had your school fights. Tell me if you had your difficulties in class. Tell me if you befriended some of the people who used to struggle to concentrate in school. I'm intrigued to learn about it. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.